and 10 on the season, and the 12 and 15 Harrisonburg Turks. I'm Conrad Spangler, your play-by-play announcer for tonight, as we will quickly go through the starting lineup for the visiting Harrisonburg Turks. Starting off, Bennett Gary bats first. Andy Perez will be second. Elijah Gilliams is third. Brody Dalton is batting cleanup. Connor Spillman bats fifth. He will be catching tonight. Trey Miranda is playing second base, bats sixth. Ben Garber is over in right field, bats seventh. Mason Greenhouse bats eighth. And Philip Garcia will round it all out. Now for the defensive lineup here for your Staunton Braves, we will have Cole Softg catching behind the plate. Keegan Hasler over at first. Caleb Williams is playing second base. Jake Merrick is on over at third. Max Lawson is your shortstop. Cooper Mars is over in left field. Jose Vasquez will be roaming center. And Brody Melton will round out the defensive lineup over in right field. So far, both of these teams are currently still in there. Again, the Braves are currently 17 and 10 on the season, and the Turks are 12 and 15. So coming up after this quick break, we will get set for the first inning here after we've had a quick little 15-minute rain delay, and we are getting set for this edition of Valley League Baseball. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. We are now set for the start of this game and the first inning, which will be brought to you by City National Bank. Again, coming up first for the Turks, we will have Bennett Gary, Andy Perez, and Elijah Gilliams up to bat. So starting off on the mound for your Braves, it's going to be number 15, Owen Shapiro. Shapiro currently having a 4.6 ERA, making his 7th start of the season, and has pitched in 29.1 innings. First batter he will face will be number 18, Bennett Gary, currently attending Miami. And Gary has a 2.79 batting average, 4.43 on-base percentage, has 1 homer and 12 RBIs on the season as he looks to try to start this game out for the Turks on a good note, whether that's getting on base or a homer. Owen Shapiro, again on the mound, trying to have a dominant starting for the Braves. Again, the past week, the Braves did have a 4th of July break from home. They ended up playing 4 games on the road, ended up going 3-1 in that stretch. This is the first time they've been home since the last time I was on air. This is right now Owen Shapiro currently taking his warm-up pitches here as we get set. Again, there was a rain delay. Reason why this game is starting about 15 or so minutes early. And now Bennett Gary will step up.
The left fielder, Bennett Gary.
Gary making his first appearance tonight. As we get set for the first pitch coming from the right-handed pitcher, Owen Shapiro. Shapiro will kick and deliver. Pitch in there for strike 1. Owen Shapiro currently tending Towson as he delivers the 0-1 pitch. That'll be sent going into straightaway left, and the catch is made by Cooper Mars for out number 1. So Gary ends up flying out to left field. That'll bring up Andy Perez, number 33 for the Turks. Perez currently at Florida Southwestern, and he's currently batting .333 on the season as he will take ball 1. Again, Perez, .333 on the season, .453 on-base percentage, no homers, and 11 RBIs. Perez quickly gets ahead, 2-0. He gets set to receive the 2-0 pitch. Shapiro will set, kick, and delivers high ball 3. So 3 straight balls from Shapiro. So he'll get set. And now kicks and delivers strike 1. So the 3-0 pitch comes on. Perez tried to sell ball 4. Home plate umpire said strike 1. And now we are set for a 3-1 count. Shapiro will now kick and deliver. That will be ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk will put Perez on over at first. And that'll bring up Elijah Gilliams.
How about number 50, Elijah Gilliams?
Number 50, currently attending Flagler. Gilliam currently batting .366. First pitch will miss ball 1. Ian Gilliam's batting .366, 405 on base, 1 homer, 21 RBIs. And he faces Shapiro with Perez on over at first. Pickoff move will not be in time, as Perez is able to get back. So now we will get set for the 1-0 count. Keep an eye on over at Perez. And now Shapiro does another pickoff move. Not in time. So a couple quick pickoff moves here with a 1-0 count. To Gilliam's, currently playing first base for the Turks tonight. And a third pickoff move. But Perez gets back in time again. So that is 3 straight pickoff moves. And now the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So we have a 2-0 count coming to Gilliam's. Cole Softg is the catcher. Shapiro gets the call. Now kicks, delivers. That'll be grounded in through the gap between center and third base for a base hit. So with that, that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 27.
Now batting number 27, Brody
From
Dalton.
Kent State, Brody Dalton. Dalton currently batting cleanup. Has a .273 on base percentage, a 371 on base percentage, a .273 batting average, 8 homers and 28 RBIs, and he will watch ball 1. So Shapiro now faces a 1-0 count to Dalton. That will be fouled. So that gives us a 1-1 count. 1 out here. Perez on over at second. Gilliam's is over at first. And again, Brody Dalton is at bat. Shapiro will now deliver 1-1 pitch. That misses ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way. With 1 out here, top of the first. Runner in scoring position. Shapiro will get set. And now delivers 2-1 pitch. That misses ball 3. So now we have a 3-1 count coming on the way. 1 out here. Ground ball could get us out of the inning. Shapiro now gets the call from Softg. And now delivers. Strike 2. And we now have a full count pitch. Shapiro looking for his first strikeout of the night. He's getting the call from Softg. He now gets set. And the payoff pitch steps off, and that ends up going high. Shortstop Max Lawson not quite able to get it, but able to bounce it up. Does keep everyone over at their base. So we'll now get set for the full count pitch again. Shapiro gets the call. Keeps an eye on over at Perez. And there's a pickoff move. Not in time. So we now have a 3-2 count. Again, so far they've been trying to get Perez. And now the payoff pitch outside, ball 4. And now bases are loaded with 1 out. So with that Brody Dalton walk, that'll bring up number 42, Connor Spielman, currently attending Jacksonville.
42, Connor Spellman.
Spellman currently batting .259 on the season with a .375 on base percentage, no homers, and 8 RBIs. And the first pitch from Chaparral is in there for strike one. So far, Chaparral's given up only 1 hit, but a couple of walks. Has managed to get out 1 out so far. Ground ball, again, could get us out of the inning. 0-1 pitch, that'll be grounded foul. So just like that, we have an 0-2 count coming on the way. 1 out here, top of the first. Again, Connor Spellman is at the plate. The 0-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is out number 2. So Spellman goes down swinging, and that'll bring up number 13
Now batting number 13.
from Palm Beach Atlantic, Trey Miranda. Miranda currently batting .257, a .376 on-base percentage, and has 14 RBIs. That pitch gets inside, ball 1. So we have a 1-0 count coming on the way to Miranda. Currently, Andy Perez over at third. Elijah Gilliam's at second. And Brody Dalton is at first. With 2 outs, Chaparral delivers 1-0 pitch. That ends up being high, ball 2. Soft G couldn't quite get the glove around, but just falls straight down, so no one advances. And now Chaparral gets set for the 2-0 count. Kicks, delivers. That's outside, ball 3. So we now have a 3-0 count coming on the way with 2 outs. Chaparral trying to keep this as a 0-0 game. Chaparral gets set and delivers strike 1. So we now have a 3-1 count coming on the way. 2 outs here, top of the first. Chaparral will get set and kicks and delivers strike 2. And we now have a full count pitch and a key opportunity here for Chaparral to get out of a bases loaded jam. So Chaparral gets set for the payoff pitch. Kicks and delivers. Everyone on the move. Grounded. Fielded by Hasler. Steps on the bag himself for out number 3. And the inning is over. So Miranda ends up grounding out to first base. And just like that, the Turks score no runs off 1 hit, no errors, and 3 were left on base. Coming up next, the home half of the first, where the Braves look to try to take the lead early in this game. Coming up next, Braves take the offensive. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where currently we are tied at 0 apiece here heading into the home half of the first. Real quickly, the starting lineup for your Staunton Braves. Leading off, Jose Vasquez. Max Lawson bats second. Brody Melton is third. Keegan Hasler is cleanup. Braden Tchaikovsky is fifth. Cooper Mars bats sixth. Cole Softg is seventh. Jake Merrick eighth. And Caleb Williams rounds it all out. That first pitch ends up going fouled back. Again, this is currently Jose Vasquez, number 16. Currently attending Arkansas Pine Bluff. So he now has an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 pitch. That's high, ball one. So as Vasquez steps back in, he's currently batting .272 on the season. A .372 on base percentage, 2 homers, and 17 RBIs. We now have a 2-1 count coming on the way. 2-1 pitch. That'll be hit. Diving stop there by Gilliams. And they get it. Not able to get there in time is Vasquez, so that is out number 1. That'll bring up number 35, shortstop, Max Lawson, currently attending Longwood. Lawson currently batting .273 on the season, has a .420 on base percentage, no homers, and 8 RBIs. And first pitch to Lawson misses for ball one. The pitcher, though, for the Turks, we have number 5, Douglas King, currently attending Weber International. So he delivers the 1-0 pitch, misses inside, ball 2. Right now, King is making his first appearance of the season. So we now have a 2-0 count coming on the way. That'll be fouled straight back for strike 1. So we now have a 2-1 pitch coming on the way to the Braves shortstop. Again, King is on the mound for the Turks. 2-1 pitch. Ends up being outside, ball 3. So now Lawson faces a 3-1 count here with 1 out. Nobody on base. And the 3-1 pitch. That is hit foul. So that gives us a full count opportunity. King trying to get the strikeout. Lawson trying to get on base. So King will get set for the payoff pitch. And he will kick and deliver. Strike 3 to Lawson. So Lawson will go down looking. That'll bring up number 18 from Milligan, Brody Melton. Melton currently batting .277 on the season, has a .351 on base percentage, leads the team with 7 home runs, and has a team high of 26 RBIs. And he will watch strike 1. So real quickly, the defensive lineup for the Turks. Connor Spellman is catching. The 0-1 pitch is on the way. That'll be swung on and missed for strike 2. Spellman is catching. Elijah Gilliams is at first. Trey Miranda is at second. Philip Garcia is over at third. Andy Perez shortstop. Bennett Gary over in left. Mason Greenhouse is in center field as we get a ground ball. Miranda fields it, throws on over to first for out number 3. Again, Ben Garber will round it out over in right field, but the Braves end up going down in order here in the first. Coming up next, the top of the second, where we will have Garber Greenhouse Garcia up to bat for the Turks. Again, first inning was brought to you by City National Bank. Coming up next, the Braves look to keep this a tie game after one. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. We are entering the second inning, which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Coming up first for the Turks, number 15 from Rochester, Ben Garber. Garber is currently batting .296 on the season, a .397 on base percentage, no homers, and 8 RBIs, and he will watch ball one. So Shapiro comes out trying to prevent a bases loaded situation as he quickly gets a 1-1 count after strike one. So Shapiro will get set. The 1-1 pitch coming on the way. That ends up missing a ball two. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way. No outs here, top of the second. Again, Brain Garber is currently batting. 2-1 swung on and missed for strike two. So now Shaprov has a 2-2 count coming to the Turks right fielder. And Shaprov will now kick and deliver ball three. So we have a full count pitch coming on the way. No outs here. Shaprov trying to get the first out. Payoff pitch. Miss area in there. Strike three. And that is strikeout number 2 for Owen Shaprov. That'll bring up number 21. And Shapiro will deliver the first pitch. That is fielded right back up. Shapiro fields it. Flips it on over to Hasler for outs number 2. That was Mason Greenhouse from UC Santa Barbara. So that gives us 2 outs. And that'll bring up number 26, Philip Garcia from Gulf Coast State. Garcia currently batting .237 on the season, has a .375 on base percentage and 8 RBIs. And he will face Owen Shapiro for the first time tonight with 2 outs here in the top of the second. And the first pitch in there for strike one. So we have an 0-1 count coming on the way to Garcia. And that will get in there for strike 2. So we have no balls, 2 strikes coming on the way. Shapiro trying to get 3 strikes in a row. Gets the call. Now, the 0-2 pitch. That'll miss, ball 1. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Shapiro has just about everything at his disposal as he tries to get out number 3 and put the Turks down in order. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. So the Turks go down in order. Owen Shapiro ends up getting 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Coming up next, the bottom of the second, which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. The Braves will have Hasler, Tchaikovsky, and Mars due up as they look to take the lead in the bottom of the second. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Here we are in the home half of the second, leading off for the Braves, number 20, or 33 from JMU, Keegan Hasler is currently on over at first. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Hasler. Hasler currently batting .286 on the season, as he will watch ball 1. Again, Hasler, .286 batting average, .457 on base percentage, and has 9 RBIs. And the 1-1 pitch, that's in there for strike 2. So King currently making his second inning of work, trying to keep Braves off the board, trying to keep them without a hit as well. Hasler trying to put a dent in that. The 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-2 count coming on the way to the first baseman for the Braves. And King will deliver. That'll be hit foul. Went directly down. Ended up hitting Hasler in the foot. So we'll redo the 2-2 pitch. Again, King so far is 1 strikeout and a couple groundouts on the night in terms of his time on the mound. And now he will face the 2-2 pitch. Or deliver the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. So just like that, Hasler's able to force a full count pitch. King trying to get the first out. And now King will deliver. Payoff pitch, swung on, that's grounder. That'll get fielded by Miranda. Flips on over to Gilliam's for out number 1. So Hasler ends up grounding out to the second baseman. That'll bring up DH number 45 from Walter State, Braden Tchaikovsky. First pitch to the designated hitter will be in there for strike 1. Tchaikovsky currently batting .229 on the season, a .308 on base percentage, 3 homers and 10 RBIs, and he now has a 1-1 count. So King will get set, delivers the 1-1 pitch. That ends up inside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 pitch coming on the way, 1 out here. Tchaikovsky trying to get on base. And the 2-1 pitch from King, that'll be sent right to the shortstop, Andy Perez, for outs number 2. So that'll bring up Cooper Mars, left fielder.
Batting left fielder Cooper Mars.
Cooper Mars, number 38, currently attending Denison. First pitch to Mars will be in there for strike 1. Mars is currently batting .364 on the season, has a .481 on-base percentage and 3 RBIs. Right now, just looking to get on base. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. So we now have an 0-2 count coming on the way with 2 outs here in the home half of the second. King will deliver the 0-2 pitch. That'll be swung on and missed, and that is out number 3. So Mars ends up go down swinging, and that is how the second inning will come to an end. So far, King has faced 6 batters and has put 6 down. Coming up next, the top of the third, which will see Gary Perez Gilliams all up in the top of the third. But the second was brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Coming up next, the Braves look to keep this a tie game. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Here we are in the top of the third, which is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. First up for the Turks, we will have Bennett Gary. Flew out to left field his last time up. And now he will face Shapiro for the second time. And the first pitch coming from Shapiro will be in there for strike 1. Now have an 0-1 pitch coming on the way with no outs here. Again, we're top of the third. Gary, first one batting in this game and here in the third. So that will miss ball 1. So Shapiro will now get set for a 1-1 pitch. Now kicks and delivers. That will miss low, ball 2. Again, Gary so far 0 for 1 tonight. We now have the 2-1 pitch. That will get inside for ball 3. Gary just able to get out of it. And now Shapiro will face a 3-1 count. And the 3-1 pitch on the way. Ball 4. So we have a leadoff walk here to start the third inning.
Now batting number
That'll bring up number 33, Andy Perez, shortstop. Currently 0 for 0 since he walked his last time up. And he will now face Shapiro with a runner on first. Also, they did try to pick off Perez a few times when he was on base. Now the first pitch, that'll be fly up. And it lands. So they will get the lead off in Gary. So we now have that'll bring up Elijah Gilliams. Gilliams currently 1 for 1. Singled his last time up. First pitch will miss outside, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way with 1 out here. Perez on over at first. That ends up being outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-0 count on the way. Shapiro will now set. And kicks, delivers. Strike 1. So we now have a 2-1 pitch. No out. 1 out here. In the top of the third. Again, Perez did reach off fly roll that Braves let bounce. That is hit right back up the middle. Could be a double play. Flip on over to first. In time for the double play. So that was Williams fielded it first, flipped it on over to the shortstop, covering second, and Lawson threw it on over to Hasler for the double play, and the inning is over. Coming up next, we have the home half of the third, which is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. Braves will have Soft G, Merrick, and Williams due up in the home half of the third, where they look to take the lead here in the third, which will happen after this break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. We are currently tied at 0 apiece here in the top of the third. Leading off for the Braves, Cole Soft G, currently attending St. John's. Soft G batting 300 on the season, has a .364 on-base percentage, 1 homer, and 4 RBIs. And Douglas King trying to put 9 up, 9 down as the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Again, so far, Braves have no hits. Is Douglas King trying to put down batter number 7 in a row. That pitch will be in there for strike 2. So we now have an 0-2 count coming on the way with no outs here. Again, third inning brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. The 0-2 pitch to Soft G. That'll be hit foul. So we'll redo the 0-2 count. Cole Soft G again batting .300 on the season. Did end up coming in a little late due to the St. John's run in the postseason. That pitch will miss ball 1. So again, we now have a 1-2 count coming on the way with no outs here. Top of the third. Douglas King trying to get out number 7 in a row, and that pitch will be swung on and missed as King is able to do so. So that'll bring up number 29.
Baseman, Jake Merrick.
Jake Merrick from UAB. Merrick currently batting .297 on the season, has a .490 on-base percentage and 4 RBIs. First pitch to Merrick. In there for strike 1. So we now have an 0-1 count coming on the way to the Braves' third baseman. King will get set. And now kicks, delivers the 0-1 pitch. That ends up being high, ball 1. So we now have a 1-1 count coming. So far, King has had a fantastic outing. Faced 7 batters, put all 7 down, trying to make it 8. That pitch will miss ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way. 1 out. Also, King looking for strikeout number 3 in a row. And the 2-1 pitch. That is hit high going into left center field. And the catch will be made by Greenhouse for out number 2. So that'll bring up number 10 for the Braves.
Now batting number 10, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, currently at Liberty University. Williams is batting .224 with a .409 on-base percentage, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs. First pitch will be grounded. Second baseman Miranda throws on over to Gilliams for out number 3. So King has gone 9 up and 9 down. And that'll be the end of the third, which is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. Coming up next, the Turks try to take the lead as they will have Dalton, Spielman, and Miranda due up in the top of the 4th.
Sometimes
And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. We are here set for the 4th inning, which is brought to you by City National Bank. Due up first for the Turks, we have Brody Dalton. Currently 0 for 0 with a walk his last time up. And he will face Owen Shapiro, who's currently making his 4th inning of work. As the home plate umpire will quickly brush off home plate, as we are now set for the 4th inning. Again, Dalton currently 0 for 0. His walks don't count towards at-bats. First pitch, that'll be grounded. Fielded by Hasler. Flips on over to Shapiro. 4 outs, number 1. So Dalton ends up grounding out in a rare 3-1. And that'll bring up Connor Spielman.
The catcher, Connor Spellman.
Spellman currently 0 for 1 on the night. Struck out swinging his last time up. And he will face Shapiro with 1 out here in the 4th. First pitch. In there for strike 1. So we now have an 0-1 pitch coming on the way. 1 out here. Shapiro will get the call, set, kicks, and delivers. That's high ball 1. So we now have a 1-1 count with 1 out. Do a quick little ball change. So again, Shapiro has only given up 1 hit so far. That was to Gilliams. Now he delivers the 1-1 pitch. And therefore strike 2. So we now have a 1-2 count coming on the way. One out here, top of the 4th. Shapiro kicks, delivers 1-2 pitch. That misses low, ball 2. So we get set for the 2-2 count. So far, Shapiro's lone mark has really been that first inning where he ended up walking a couple batters and giving up the base hit. But other than that, he's put down the Turks in order. That will be line to Lawson at short for out number 2. So that'll bring up Trey Miranda.
Now batting number 13, Trey Miranda.
Miranda grounded out to first his last time up. So he's currently 0 for 1 on the night. So Shapiro will get set, kicks, and delivers. That's outside, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 pitch coming on the way with 2 outs here. Top of the 4th. Shapiro quickly delivers. That swung on and missed for strike 1. Pitch looked to be in the dirt, but ended up getting Miranda swinging. So we now have a 1-1 count. Shapiro will now deliver the 1-1 pitch. That's outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 pitch coming on the way. 2 outs here to the Turks. Second baseman. And that pitch will be outside, ball 3. So we now have a 3-1 count. 2 outs here. Shapiro trying to get out of the inning. He's currently 2 strikes away. And 3-1 pitch swung on. That is sent right back up and gloved by Williams over at second for out number 3. And the inning is over. So great job there by Williams to take away the base hit. And that'll bring up the bottom of the 4th where the Braves look to take the lead. They will have Vasquez, Lawson, Melton due up in the home half of the 4th, which is after this break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. We are still tied at 0 apiece here in the home half of the fourth, as Jose Vasquez is currently 0 for 1 tonight.
Center fielder number 16.
Braves still looking for their
Vasquez.
first hit. Again, center fielder Jose Vasquez will meet with or face Douglas King for the second time tonight. So far, King has been able to put the Braves down in order in all previous 3 innings. That first pitch will miss for ball 1. So right now, Braves looking just to get a base runner mainly. Try to get some momentum in their way. So now we have a 1-0 pitch on the way. That is be a ground ball fielded by the first baseman, Gilliams, and will take it to the bag himself for out 1. So back-to-back ground outs to first base for Vasquez. That'll bring up Max Lawson. Struck out looking his last time up.
Max Lawson.
So Lawson currently 0 for 1 on the night, faces Douglas King for the second time. This time with 1 out here in the fourth. That first pitch will be in there for strike 1. So we now have an 0-1 count coming to the Braves shortstop. Again, Douglas King is on the mound. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. That'll be hit right back up. King blocks it with his body, flips it on over to Gilliams at first in time for out 2. So Lawson hit that right back up the middle. King able to use his body to deflect it.
That brings up number 18.
That'll bring up Brody Melton. Grounded out to second his last time up. So again, Melton 0 for 1 with a ground out. Faces Douglas King for the second time tonight. King will deliver first pitch to Melton. That'll be hit foul for strike 1. So we now have an 0-1 count coming with 2 outs here. Bottom of the fourth. Braves looking to get a runner or get a hit in any way they can. As King will get set for the 0-1 pitch. He will now deliver. That's in there for strike 2. Melton is dangerous. Again, leads the team in homers and RBIs. And he will now face an 0-2 count. King will now deliver the 0-2 pitch. That swung on and missed, strike 3. And the Braves go down in order for the 4th time. So with that, we will head to the 5th. But real quickly, 4th was brought to you by City National Bank. Due up in the top of the 5th, the Turks will have Garber, Greenhouse, Garcia. Due up in the top of the 5th after this break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where we are here in the top of the 5th which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Due up first for the Harrisonburg Turks, Ben Garber, currently 0 for 1, struck out looking his last time up. As Chapro makes his tries to complete his 5th inning of work. First pitch will miss for ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way. And that pitch will be in there for strike 1. So that gives us a 1-1 count coming on the way to Garber, who's over in right field tonight. And we now have a 1-1 pitch. That's outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way with no outs. Top of the 5th. Chapro delivers 2-1 pitch. That's outside, ball 3. So we now have a 3-1 pitch coming on the way. Again, Garber currently 0 for 1 tonight. And the 3-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. So just like that, Chapro was able to get into a full count pitch. We now get the payoff pitch. Chapro likes the call. Delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And that is out number 1 as Garber goes down swinging for his 2nd strikeout tonight. That'll bring up
Now batting
Mason Greenhouse. Grounded out to Chapro. Pitcher is last time up, so he's currently 0 for 1 tonight. And the first pitch, that'll be sent straight away center field. And Vasquez is camped out under it for outs 2. So that was very easy fly out there. First pitch swinging. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Philip Garcia. Garcia currently 0 for 1 with a strikeout tonight. And he will face Chapro with 2 outs here and the top of the 5th. First pitch to Garcia. That misses, ball 1. So that gives us a 1-0 count coming on the way. 2 outs here. Chapro gets a ball he likes. Now he gets set for the 1-0 count. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. That misses, ball 2. So we now have a 2-0 count coming on the way with 2 outs here. Chapro will deliver the 2-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way with 2 outs here. Chapro currently 2 strikes away from ending the top of the 5th. 2-1 pitch. That misses, ball 3. So we now have a 3-1 count coming with 2 outs here. And the 3-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. And we get set for the payoff pitch. Again, Garcia struck out swinging his last time up, trying to avoid back-to-back strikeouts. And the payoff pitch coming. That's right back up the middle. And that'll get through for a base hit. And Garcia thought about 2 for a second, ended up staying over at first for a 2-out single. So it does look like they are going to go look at Chapro. That hit was smoked right back up the middle to Chapro. He was able to get out of the way for the most part. So it does look like they will keep Chapro on, and he will face the leadoff hitter, Bennett Gary. He's currently 0 for 1, walked his last time up. So Gary will now face Chapro for the 3rd time. Again, last time he walked. This time, there's a runner on over at first in Garcia. So Shapro delivers. That misses ball one. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way. Again, Garcia over at first. Leadoff hitter Gary is currently at the plate. 1-0 pitch, and therefore strike one. So that gives us a 1-1 count. 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. Shapro glances on over. Likes the call, now delivers 1-1 pitch. That is going into left center field, all the way back, and it'll land. Garcia rounds second, heading on over to third. And he rounds third, heading on home. Throw will be not in time. So Garcia is able to score from first. It's ended up being a double. And Garcia will reach on the throw. So that'll bring up Andy Perez. Currently 0 for 1. Ended up reaching on a fielder's choice last time when he popped it up. Braves ended up letting it hit. And now the first pitch. That misses ball one. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way. Again, Andy Perez, shortstop for the Turks, is at bat. And Shapro delivers 1-0 pitch. That's outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-0 count coming on the way with 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. Shapro will get set. And kicks, delivers. That misses ball 3. So with 2 outs here, couple back-to-back hits. Give the Turks the lead. Shapro trying to keep this just a 1-run game. 3-1 pitch on the way. That misses ball 4. So the 4-pitch walk will put runners at the corners. And that'll bring up Elijah Gilliams. Gilliams currently 1 for 2. We are going to get a mound visit real quick. Again, Shapro had great work so far. Struggled in the first inning a little bit. Ended up giving up 1 hit and a couple walks. Now, here in the 5th, he's given up a couple hits and just the 1 run, followed by a 4-pitch walk. So, looks like they may be trying to calm down their pitcher. They do, as the Braves do have a pitcher on over in the bullpen. Again, so far, here in the 5th, Turks have scored 1 run off 2 hits. No errors. And Shapro will now get set to face Elijah Gilliams. Again, hit into a double play his last time up.
Now batting Elijah Gilliams.
Shapro trying to get out of the 5th inning. And first pitch to Gilliams. That'll be popped up. Shapro fields it, throws on over to first. In time for outs number 3. And the inning is over. So the Turks end up scoring 1 run off 2 hits. No errors were made. And 2 were left on base. Coming up next, the Braves look to try and tie the game, if not take the lead, with Hasler, Tchaikovsky, and Mars in the home half of the 5th, which will happen after this quick break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Harrisonburg Turks lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth, which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Coming up first, Keegan Hasler, currently 0 for 1 tonight. As currently Douglas King making his 5th inning of work. So far has gone through 4. And the pitch, that will be in there for strike 1. So now Hasler faces an 0-1 count. Braves have struggled so far offensively. Gotten no hits, no runners on base. The 0-1 pitch, that's inside, ball 1. So that gives us a 1-1 count with no outs here. Top of the 5th. Hasler is currently at bat. King delivers the 1-1 pitch. That is sent right back up the middle, and we will get our first base hit with Keegan Hasler. And that will bring up the tying run over at first. And now batting, number 45, Braden Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky again 0 for 1. Now he will face King with no outs here. And a runner on over at first. Again, tying run. Hasler is over at first base. The Braves tries to counter the 1 run that was scored in the top of the 5th. And Tchaikovsky will watch strike 1. Again, Tchaikovsky does have 3 homers so far on the season. Now the 1-0-1 pitch, that is in there for strike 2. So now King has everything at his disposal. Try and get the 3rd strike to Tchaikovsky, designated hitter tonight for the Braves. King will deliver. That swung on and missed. And Tchaikovsky is down, swinging for out 1. That'll bring up Cooper Mars. Left fielder, struck out swinging his last time up. Now he'll face King with 1 out here and a runner on over at first in Keegan Hasler. And the first pitch to Mars will be in there for strike 1. So an 0-1 pitch coming on the way to the left fielder for the Braves. King glances on over. And there's a pickoff move. Hasler looks like he kept his foot on the bag the whole time and sort of just leaned back in. And now King delivers. Hasler on the move. That is right back up into left field. Hasler around second, heading on over to third. And the throw to third will not be in time as Hasler reaches. And we now have runners at the corners with 1 out here. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cole Softg. And the tying run is now on over 90 feet away at third base. Go-ahead run is at first. Tying run is represented by Keegan Hasler. Go-ahead run is Cooper Mars over at first. King will get set. And the first pitch to Mars. That'll be hit foul. Good hands there by Jake Merrick. Ended up grabbing that foul ball. So now Softg will have an 0-1 count. King will step off, it looked like. So now he'll get set. 0-1 pitch on the way. That swung on and missed for strike 2. So right now, Cole Softg is in an 0-2 count with 1 out here. In the home half of the 5th, Braves trying to tie the game up. Douglas King, quick pickoff move. And Mars able to get back in time. So we'll still have an 0-2 count coming on the way. To the catcher. And the 0-2 pitch. That's high, ball one. So again, a 1-2 count coming on the way with one out here. Runners at the corner. Cole probably has just about everything at his disposal, trying to get strike three. Soft G just trying to put the ball in play. Runners on the move. That'll be fly heading on up. Might be deep enough to score the run. And not. Look like Hasler was going to try, but decided against it. That'll bring up Jake Merrick. Jake Merrick currently 0 for 1, flew out to center field his last time up. And he currently has a good opportunity here for an RBI to try and tie the game up with just a base hit. But he also has 2 outs, so trying to at least bring the run home from third. First pitch will be in there for strike one.
Jake Merrick, the batter.
So we now have an 0-1 count coming to the third baseman, Jake Merrick. As King will deliver the 0-1 pitch. That misses inside, ball one. So we now have a 1-1 count coming on the way. Again, this is the best offensive inning so far for the Braves. They have 2 hits so far. Again, Keegan Hasler over at third. Braves just trying to tie the game up. Pitch, that is swing, head high, going into straightaway left field. Back goes the left fielder, and it is gone. A 3-run home run for the Braves as they take the 3-run lead off the bat of Jake Merrick. Again, with that home run, that is Merrick's first home run of the season. And the bases are now empty, and the Braves now hold a 3-1 lead over the Harrisonburg Turks. So it looks like we are going to get a quick mound visit. The whole infield will come on in. Again, that Jake Merrick 3-run home run will put the Braves on the board and in the lead with 2 outs here. And we are getting a pitching change. So coming up after this quick little break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Harrisonburg Turks. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where currently the Braves have a 3-1 lead over the Harrisonburg Turks. Caleb Williams will be the first batter. That number 47, Palmer Edwards from St. John's Riverside, or River State. St. John's River State. His first pitch to Williams is a strike. Edwards currently has a 3.72 ERA, making his 7th appearance. And that is batted by the shortstop, Perez. So Williams will reach off that infield base hit. Perez tried to glove it, ends up bouncing off his glove. Then he takes a tumble.
Number 16, Jose Vasquez.
That'll bring up Jose Vasquez. Vasquez currently 0 for 2. Again, this is Edwards' 7th appearance. Currently, he was pitched in 9.2 innings. And the first pitch to Vasquez will miss, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming, 1-0 count coming on the way. Caleb Williams over at first. 2 outs here. And the pitch, that's a strike. Williams is an aggressive runner. So good job there from Spellman. Ended up getting up, keeping Williams over at first. 1-1 pitch to Vasquez. And therefore, strike 2. So we now have a 1-2 count coming on the way with 2 outs. Again, Jose Vasquez is currently at the plate, 0 for 2 on the night. Caleb Williams is over at first. And there's a quick pickoff, but Williams able to get back in time. So we now have a 1-2 count coming on the way. Again, Edwards ended up coming in with 2 outs. Williams on the move. That pitch will be grounded foul. So Williams will have to head on over to first again. And we will redo the 1-2 count. So we'll see again if Williams tries to send it, or tries to go. He did last time. We'll see if he does it again. 1-2 pitch. This time he'll stay, and then Vasquez will watch ball 2. So that gives us a 2-2 count with 2 outs here. Bottom of the 5th. Currently there is a runner on over at first in Caleb Williams. And Edwards will deliver the 2-2 pitch. That is swung on, sent into left field, and it lands. Williams will try to head on over to third. Throw on over to third will get away, and Vasquez will reach second. So some aggressive base running again by Caleb Williams allows Vasquez to reach with a double, though technically as a single, reach second on the throw. Again, thought they may have had a shot at Williams, but Garcia not quite able to field the throw from Gary. And that'll bring up Max Lawson, currently 0 for 2. But this will be his first opportunity against Edwards. Looks like we are going to get another ball change real quick. So far, Braves have scored 3 runs here. They do have 2 outs, though. And the first pitch to Lawson will be outside, ball 1. So that gives Lawson a 1-0 count, coming with 2 outs here in the home half of the 5th. So Edwards will kick, deliver. That's outside, ball 2. Again, Palmer Edwards came in after Douglas King goes 4 2/3. Here we are in the 5th inning. Braves looking to extend their lead some more. And the 2-0 pitch swung on. That'll go high into foul territory and will give us strike 1. So again, Lawson trying to get some RBIs here. Has a good opportunity with Vasquez over at second and Williams over at first, or third, I mean. So Edwards will get the call and is set. And the 2-1 pitch swung on. That'll be fielded by Perez over at short. Throws on over to Gilliam at first in time for outs number 3. So the Braves were able to score 3 runs off of a Jake Merrick sending a ball to the Shadow Realm over in left field. And the Braves do have the lead. Coming up next, the top of the 6th, where the Turks will look to tie the game or at least cut into it with Dalton, Spielman, and Miranda. Again, 5th inning was brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Coming up next, the top of the 6th after this break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where currently the Braves lead it 3-1 here in the top of the 6th, which is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. Due up first for the Turks, we have Brody Dalton, currently 0 for 1, grounded out his last time up. And he will face Owen Shapiro as Shapiro looks to complete his 6th inning of work. And the first pitch will be inside ball 1. So that gives us a 1-0 count coming on the way with no outs here. And the 1-0 pitch from Shapiro will be fouled for strike 1. So that gives us a 1-1 count coming to the designated hitter for the Turks tonight. Again, currently 0 for 1 tonight. And the 1-1 pitch on the way, that's swung on, and that will go foul. And that gives us a 1-2 count. So now Shapiro currently 1 strike away from getting the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. Shapiro will get the call, sets, and quickly delivers. That will be hit foul. So we will redo the 1-2 count. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the designated hitter. Grounded out in a 3-1 his last time up, but also has a walk. And Shapiro looking to just still only give up the 1 run. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. That will be outside ball 2. So that is a 2-2 count coming on the way with no outs here. Shapiro currently trying to get the first out. 2-2 pitch on the way. That misses ball 3. So that gives us a full count pitch. Shapiro looking for his next strikeout. And the payoff pitch on the way. That will be outside, ball 4. So we have a leadoff walk there from Brody Dalton, his second walk drawn. And that'll bring up Connor Spielman, catcher,
Spielman, the batter.
currently 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out his last time up. Braves would not mind another ground out. First pitch to Spielman, swung on and missed for strike 1. So that gives us an 0-1 count here with no outs. Again, Dalton currently on over at first. Shapiro will kick and deliver the 0-1 pitch. That'll be hit foul for strike 2. So we now have an 0-2 count coming on the way with no outs here. Top of the 6th. Brody Dalton currently on over at first. Tying run is represented by Connor Spielman. Shapiro will now get set, kicks, delivers, and it ends up being a ball 1. Though mainly looked like they were trying to keep an eye on Dalton, as he did end up looking like he wanted to run. So now we have a 1-2 count coming on the way. 1-2 pitch, swung on. That is hit high, going into foul shallow center field, and the catch is made for out 1. So the catch was made by Lawson. And that'll bring up Trey Miranda. Miranda currently 0 for 2. Flew out his last time up. And it looks like that might be the end of Shapiro's night. Looks like they are going to talk about it there for a little bit. At least the coaches are just off to the side. But that will be it for Shapiro. So coming up after this quick little break, tell you who the new pitcher is for your Staunton Braves. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where the new pitcher for your Braves, number 43 from St. John's, Nicholas Gilpin. Gilpin comes in with a 4.50 ERA, making his 3rd appearance, and has gone through 6 innings. First batter he will face is none other than Trey Miranda, currently 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out his last time up. So Gilpin does inherit a runner on over at first in Brody Dalton. And the first pitch from Gilpin will be swung on and missed for strike one. So a first pitch strike to Miranda. And now Gilpin has an 0-1 count coming. And the 0-1 pitch on the way will be outside ball one. So that gives us a 1-1 count here, 1 out. Gilpin preferably would like a ground ball for a double play, but also wouldn't mind a strikeout or a fly out as well. So the 1-1 pitch on the way, that's high ball two. So with a 2-1 count coming on the way, again Gilpin from St. John's now has a 2-1 count to Trey Miranda. And the 2-1 pitch, that misses ball three. So after first pitch swing, Miranda watches 3 straight balls. And Gilpin trying to get Miranda to reach, ground something. And the 3-1 pitch, that will miss inside ball four. So Miranda will reach base for the first time tonight with that walk. And that'll bring up Ben Garber. Garber currently 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Gilpin going to try to get the ground out or the strikeout, preferably one of those two. That will give the hat trick. Currently home plate umpire.
Pitch hitting for the Turks.
Or actually, we have a pitch hitter.
Jackson Walker.
Be number 8 for the Turks. We'll take on over for Garber. Number 8, Jackson Walker from Walter State. And the first pitch will be in there for strike one. So again, Jackson Walker from Walter State Community College. And the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike two. Gilpin quickly gets Walker. It's now having 0-2 count coming. And the 0-2 pitch swung on, and that's hit foul. Again, Walker will most likely replace Garber over in right field. And the 0-2 pitch, that'll be grounded into left or right field for a base hit, and we get a rundown. And they're going to try to run him down, and the tag is made for the out, number 2. What a play there. Runners do end up advancing to second and third off that, but the Braves are able to prevent a run from coming in. As originally it looked like Dalton was going to try to score, ended up getting caught in the middle between third and home. That'll bring up 21 Mason Greenhouse, currently 0 for 2 tonight. Currently, again, Walker did end up getting a base hit and up reaching second during the rundown. Non over at third is Miranda. So the first pitch from Gilpin, that'll be hit foul. So that'll give us an 0-1 count coming on the way. And Gilpin does have these two runners, I believe, if I remember correctly. And now the 0-1 pitch did not go, so that'll end up being ball one. So we get a 1-1 count coming on the way. 2 outs here. Braves trying to keep this a 2-run game. Again, tying run currently on over at second by Walker, or represented by Jackson Walker. Again, Mason Greenhouse, though, is currently at bat as we do have a quick talk between Soft G and Gilpin. Walker flew out to center field his last time up as we get set to do this 1-1 count. So we now have a 1-1 count coming on the way to Greenhouse. Gilpin gets set. And that will miss ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way with 2 outs here. Top of the 6th. Braves trying to get out of this inning. Runners over at second and third. 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 2. And now Gilpin is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning and giving up no runs after a very good opportunity from the Turks. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed strike 3, and Gilpin gets out of it. So the Turks end up scoring no runs off a couple hits, 1 hit. No errors were made, and 2 were left on base. Coming up next, the home half of the 6th, where the Braves look to extend their lead. And the 6th inning is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. Coming up after the break, Braves will have Lawson, Melton, Hasler due up to bat. Again after the break, Braves look to extend their lead. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves lead 3-1 here, heading into the bottom of the 6th, which is brought to you by Premier Lawn Care.
Leading off with bottom of the 6th inning,
Palmer
Braves,
Edwards is making his
Melton.
2nd inning of work. Well, it's still technically his first full inning. Brody Melton actually is the first one. That pitch will be in there for strike 1. So again, Melton actually is starting. He now has a 1-0 count. Edwards trying to complete his first full inning of work. Currently he's gone 1/3 of an inning. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That is go straight away right field, and the catch will be made by Jackson Walker. So with that, that'll bring up Keegan Hasler. Hasler got the first hit of the game for the Braves. He will now face Palmer Edwards for a hit the first time tonight. So first pitch from Edwards to Hasler will be in there for strike one. So we now have an 0-1 count coming on the way with one out here. Bottom of the sixth. Edwards trying to keep this just a two-run game. The 0-1 pitch will be inside ball one. So we now have a 1-1 count coming to the Braves' first baseman. Again, Palmer Edwards trying to complete his first inning before it currently has gone 2/3 of an inning. That will get hit foul for strike two. Again, Hasler 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Palmer Edwards will get the call from Spielman. That will be outside, ball two. So we now have a 2-2 count coming on the way. As Palmer Edwards again on the mound. We'll start getting the call from Spielman. Edwards delivers. That's inside, ball three, and Hasler forces the full count pitch. Again, Braves scored 3 runs just an inning ago. Try to extend their lead. Edwards, payoff pitch. That'll be hit, ground ball into right field for a base hit, and back-to-back hits for Hasler, and he is on base for the second time tonight. So after that hit, that'll bring up number 45, Braden Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky currently 0 for 2 tonight, struck out swinging his last time up, and now is looking to try and extend this lead, extend the game and extend the lead. Does have 3 homers on the season. And the first pitch, Hasler on the move, ends up being a ball. Throw ends up being high, and Hasler steals second. So we end up getting ball called. Spielman tried to throw out Hasler on over stealing second. Throw ended up being high. Perez not quite able to get the tag on in time. And Edwards keeping an eye. And we're getting a balk. So now Hasler takes third, and we will have a 2-0 count coming to Tchaikovsky. So Hasler forced the balk. That will be hit high, heading into straightaway left field. Heading back is the left fielder, and it is off the wall. I thought that was a homer for a minute there, but Tchaikovsky will coast on into second with an RBI double off the wall. Just barely missed it. It was very close. Again, Tchaikovsky just barely missed it. So Cooper Mars will come up. Mars singled his last time up. And first pitch to Mars will miss inside ball one. So Tchaikovsky ends up getting a double off the wall over in left field. Barely missed it. And the 1-0 pitch to Mars, that'll be hit foul. So we have a 1-1 count coming on the way. Edwards trying to keep this just a 3-run game now. Here in the 6th. As Edwards keeps a look at Tchaikovsky. That pitch inside. Mars misses or slides out of the way. That gives us a 2-0 count. We have a 2-1 pitch coming on the way. 1 out here. Top of the 6th. Edwards will deliver. That is swung on and missed for strike 2. And now we have a 2-2 pitch coming on the way to Cooper Mars, current left fielder for the Braves. Edwards will now deliver. 2-2 pitch. That's outside, ball 3. So Mars now has a full count pitch. Edwards trying to get out number 2. And currently, Braden Tchaikovsky is over at second. As Edwards will now get set. And the payoff pitch. That is hit, ground ball into right field, base hit. And Tchaikovsky rounded third, thought about heading home, but will stay on overs to give us runners at the corner with 2 outs. And just like that, that'll bring up the catcher, Cole Soft G. And we are going to have a mound visit here in the 6th. See if that will be the end of Palmer Edwards' night. Again, so far, the Braves have extended their lead here 2-3. Braden Tchaikovsky on over at third, 90 feet away from scoring. And Cooper Mars is over at first. Cole Soft G is up to play. Again, Soft G 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out his last time up. And we now will get set up. Looked like they were mainly just trying to calm down Edwards. And right now, a ground ball could. Again, a ground ball could get us out of the inning.
Now batting Cole Soft G.
Soft G, the catcher, again 0 for 2 tonight. As Edwards trying to get out of this inning. And the first pitch to Soft G will be in there for strike 1. So Soft G now has an 0-1 count coming on the way. With 1 out here. Tchaikovsky over at third. Cooper Mars at first. And the 0-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. Again, that gives us an 0-2 count. 1 out here. And now Edwards will get set. And the 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1. So that gives us a 1-2 count coming on the way with 1 out here. Again, Soft G 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out his last time up. Though a flyout could potentially score a second run, that will be hit foul. So that will force Mars back on over to first. And so far, back to 3 consecutive hits. After the first few innings, the Braves struggled to get any sort of offense going on. Bats have finally come alive here in the 6th. Edwards will get set for the 1-2 pitch. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed for strike 3. So that gives us out 2. And that will bring up the third baseman, 3-run home run hitter, Jake Merrick. Again, last time up, Merrick sent 1 ball to the Shadow Realm over in left field for a 3-run home run in the 5th inning. We had a quick little timeout. And now we get set. Again, Merrick, 3-run home run. His first homer of the season. And now Edwards will deliver the first pitch. That misses, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way to the Braves' third baseman. Tchaikovsky over at third, Mars at first. Merrick, 0-1 pitch. That was go straight away right field, and a catch is made for outs number 3. So the Braves were able to score 1 run off 3 hits. No errors were made, and 2 were left on base. Coming up next, the top of the 7th, where the Turks will have Greenhouse, Garcia, and Gary. No, Garcia, Gary, Perez will be up to bat here in the top of the 7th, but the 6th inning was brought to you by Premier Lawn Care. Coming up next, the Turks try to tie the game. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves do lead it 4-1 here, heading into the top of the 7th. Leading off, Philip Garcia will lead the Turks here in the 7th. Easton Ogle is now on over at third. That will get by. Great play on over by Williams. Throw on over. That ends up getting away. And we get a leadoff base hit. So after a leadoff infield base hit, that'll bring up Bennett Gary. Got a double, ended up reaching third on his last time up. And now he will face Gilpin with no outs here and a runner on over at first. So first pitch from Gilpin, that'll be a bunt to tip, and that will be foul. So that gives us an 0-1 count coming on the way. That'll force Garcia back on over to first. And we'll get set for an 0-1 count. So we did have a bunt attempt. See if they try again with an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 pitch from Gilpin will be ball 1. So we now have a 1-1 count coming on the way to Gary. Runner on over in Garcia at first. And the 1-1 pitch. That's high, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count. There was actually a little change. Easton Ogle is now on over at third, and Tyler Rule over in left field for the Braves. And the 2-1 pitch. That is swung on, tipped foul into the glove for strike 2. So we now have a 2-2 count coming on the way. No outs here. Nick Gilpin trying to get out of his second inning of work. So again, a 2-2 count coming on the way to the left fielder for the Turks. Also the leadoff hitter tonight. Now Gilpin will get set. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. That ends up getting inside, ball 3. So we now have a full count pitch coming to the left fielder. Again, Garcia on over at first after an infield hit. And Gilpin, payoff pitch, that gets inside, hits. And looks like actually Sofji ended up getting the brunt of it. So he took a quick step away. So Gary ends up reaching on his second walk after getting hit by that pitch. That'll bring up Andy Perez, currently 0 for 1, has a couple of walks. And he also reached on a fielder's choice. So no outs here. Garcia on over at second. And Gary on over at first. Perez, shortstop, looking for his first hit of the night. And the first pitch, that will miss, ball 1. So that gives us a 1-0 count coming to the Braves, or the Turks shortstop. Gilpin trying to get his first out. For that pitch, we go into left field, base hit. And there will be a throw on over. And they got him! What a play! And that ends up going into left field, and we'll get another rundown. No, we will not, and they will let them reach, or let Perez reach second. So we do end up getting a base hit, but also an out in the process. What a play there from Tyler Rule over in left field. And we'll see if that's the end of, it is going to be the end of Gilpin's night. He's able to go just a third of an inning here in the 7th. So coming up after this quick break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for your Staunton Braves. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where the new pitcher on the mound for your Braves, the southpaw from Liberty University, Caleb Smith. Smith is currently having a 5.40 ERA, making his 9th appearance, and has gone 8.1 innings. So Smith trying to get out of this inning, does inherit runners on second and third. And the first pitch from Smith, that'll miss ball 1. First batter he will face, the first baseman Gilliams. And the 1-0 pitch swung on, that's hit right back up. And actually ends up getting him over at first. So runner will actually advance from third on home, gives us a second out, but a run does come across. That'll go towards Gilpin's ERA.
Now batting Brody Dalton.
That'll bring up Brody Dalton. Dalton currently 0 for 1, has a couple of walks. And the first pitch, that'll be a ground ball. Fielded by Hasler, will run on over to first in time for out number 3. And the inning is over. So the Turks score 1 run off of 3 hits. No errors were made, and 1 person was left on base. Coming up next, the home half of the 7th, where the Braves will have Williams, Vasquez, Lawson due up next to extend their lead. 7th inning is brought to you by City National Bank. Coming up next, bottom of the 7th, after this quick break. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, where currently the Braves lead 4-2 here in the home half of the 7th. Palmer Edwards will make his next inning of work. Make his second full inning of work, I think, if my mental math is correct. He will face Caleb Williams first, and the first pitch to Williams will miss ball 1. Again, Williams currently 1 for 2 tonight, singled his last time up. And the 1-0 pitch to Williams, outside ball 2. 7th inning, though, is brought to you by City National Bank. As right now, Williams faces a 2-0 count. And the 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed for strike 1. So we now have a 2-1 pitch coming on the way with no outs. Bottom of the 7th. And the 2-1 pitch from Edwards. That was crushed going far deep into straightaway center field. All the way back. And it is gone. Home run. Caleb Williams straightaway center field. As Williams sent that crushed to center field. And the Braves have their second home run of the evening. And that will give them a 5-2 lead here in the home half of the seventh. So with that home run from Caleb Williams, that'll bring up Jose Vasquez. Doubled his last time up. And right now, Edwards just trying to keep this a 3-run game. Braves did manage to come back, cut the lead back to 3, as Vasquez will check his swing for ball 1. Right now, Turks managed to get a run, but not quite able to hold on to it, as that homer from Williams gives us the 3-run lead back. Now Vasquez faces a 2-0 count. So Edwards will get set, delivers the 2-0 pitch. That misses ball 3. So with that homer, that gives Williams 8 RBIs on the season and 4 homers. And the 3-0 pitch, that misses ball 4. So just like that, after the Turks started off pitching strong, going multiple innings, almost all the way or through the lineup 1 1/3 time, they have struggled these past few innings, and we are going to get a pitching change here as Palmer Edwards' day is over. Take a quick minute to tell you that the Valley League Baseball and the Diabetes Reversal Group share a common belief that healthy communities are built through connection, education, and action. Diabetes affects millions of Americans, and DRG is on a mission to reverse that trend through evidence-based lifestyle programs, community outreach, and accessible health care. Diabetes Reversal Group has helped thousands of patients hit it out of the park, achieving measurable, lasting reversal of type 2 diabetes through proven physician-guided program. If you would like to learn more, just visit vbl.diabetesreversalgroup.com, or you can check out any of the 12 member team websites for more information. After this break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Harrisonburg Turks. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves do lead it 5-2 here in the bottom of the seventh. The new arm from the southpaw from Auburn, Montgomery, Jackson Leggett Walford. Leggett Walford currently has a 5.73 ERA, making his 9th appearance, and has gone 11 innings. And the first batter he will face is Max Lawson. Vasquez on the move, throw on over, will bounce in the dirt, and Vasquez steals second. So Lawson, though, currently 0 for 3 tonight. And right now, Wilf still looking for his first pitch, as that was a pickoff move. Vasquez able to slide in. Throw from Gilliam's, not quite on target, bounced in the dirt. So Vasquez managed to reach second safely. That pitch ends up being outside, ball one. And Leggett Wofford's first pitch was great job there by Spellman in order to keep that in front. And now we have a 1-0 count coming on the way. And there's another pickoff move that ends up gooding all the way into center field. Vasquez will go ahead and move up 90 feet, and he is now over at third. So just like that, the Turks started out this game strong, putting the first 12 batters down, and ever since then, it has been the Staunton Braves. As we currently have a 1-0 count coming to Lawson. The fans here chanting ball 6. Trying to wish 6 straight balls. That pitch is ball 6. So that gives us a 2-0 count coming on the way to the shortstop, Max Lawson. As the ball 7 chant has now started. Jose Vasquez on over at third with no outs here, bottom of the 7th. And the 2-0 pitch to Lawson. That ends up inside, ball 3. 7 straight balls now from the Turks pitching staff. Between Edwards and Leggett Wofford. They tried to get back-to-back walks. 3-0 pitch coming on the way. And the pitch. That's called a strike. That just barely got in there. Looked like Lawson tried to sell it as well. But that breaks the strikes, ended at 7. And now Lawson faces a 3-1 count. And now we have a 3-1 pitch on the way. That swung on and missed for strike 2. So we now have a full count pitch coming on the way to the shortstop, Lawson. Currently 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded out his last time up. Again, Leggett Wofford facing his first batter. And will now deliver the payoff pitch. We get a quick time, though. Granted to Lawson as he will get set up. Again, right now, no outs here. And the Braves are currently 90 feet away from having a second run come across. And Leggett Wofford will get set. Payoff pitch on the way. Ball 4 and back-to-back walks. That gives us runners at the corner with no outs. And Max Lawson reaches base for the first time. And that brings up a dangerous batter as we do get a quick mound visit. Again, southpaw from Auburn. Auburn Montgomery is on the mound for the Turks in Jackson Leggett Wofford. And are we actually getting another pitching change? We are. Wofford ends up only going just a few pitches, doesn't even get an out. And coming up after this break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Harrisonburg Turks. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia, the new pitcher on the mound for the Turks from USF, Carter Lenz, a right-handed pitcher. First batter he will face is Brody Melton. Lenz currently has a 15.75 ERA, making his 6th appearance, and has pitched in 8 innings. And we will get strike 1 to Melton. Again, right now, Brody Melton currently 0 for 3. Flew out his last time up. Right now, Lenz just trying to get some outs. Try to get out of this. That ends up being ball. And they will let Lawson take second. Ended up throwing over to the shortstop. Perez makes sure Vasquez doesn't get on the move. But the pitch was called a ball. So now Melton faces a 1-1 count. And the 1-1 pitch from Lenz, that'll be grounded. And everyone will stay where they are. And Melton is the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. So a 6-3, and that'll bring up Keegan Hasler. Hasler currently 2 for 3 tonight. Back-to-back doubles his past 2 at-bats, and a single here could drive home a couple of runs. Again, Lenz right now just needing 2 outs. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. So now Hasler will face an 0-1 count. So far this inning, the Turks have on their 3rd pitcher. And the 0-1 pitch, that is crushed, and a hard line foul to give us an 0-2 count. Melton just got in front of it a little too much, ended up hooking it down the first base line. And that'll give us an 0-2 count. And Lenz will deliver the 0-2 pitch. That is hit foul. So we'll redo the 0-2 pitch. Again, 2 strikes here. Lenz has everything at his disposal. Again, Leggett Walford ended up going no innings. He got no outs here. Right now, Lenz inherited 2 runners on base. And the 0-2 pitch, that is hit high, and we will redo it for a 3rd time. An 0-2 count. Right now, Hasler fighting to stay alive. So no balls, 2 strikes here with 1 out. Vasquez on over at 3rd. Lawson at 2nd. And the 0-2 pitch swung on. That is into right field for 1 run to come across in Vasquez. And throw will be cut off, and Lawson will score. So just like that, 2 more runs come across, and the Braves now have a 5-run lead as it is 7-2 in favor of the Braves. So that Hasler gives him 3 consecutive base hits and just added 2 RBIs. And coming up, the designated hitter, number 45, Braden Tchaikovsky.
Now batting number 45, Braden Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky currently 1 for 3. Does have a double off the wall. Just barely missed a home run earlier in his last at-bat. So he watched ball 1. He now faces Carter Lenz with 1 out here. Runner on over in Keegan Hasler at first. The 1-0 pitch, Hasler on the move. That swung on, miss. Strike throw will be off, and Hasler steals second. So looked to be sort of like a hit and run. Tchaikovsky misses the pitch, so he gives us a 1-1 count. Throw from Spielman ended up being wide. Not quite able to get the tag on Hasler as he's able to slide in safely to second. And now the 1-1 pitch. That is hit right back up the middle. Fielded by the second baseman. Throws on over to first in time for out number 2. So Tchaikovsky grounds out. Right back up the middle. That was Miranda on over to Gilliams. That'll bring up Cooper Mars. Cooper Mars also has 2 consecutive base hits in his previous at-bats. And now he'll face Carter Lenz with Keegan Hasler on over at third. That pitch will be high, ball 1. Again, right now, Cooper Mars, 2 for 3, 2 base hits and a strikeout. And right now he has a good RBI opportunity. The 1-0 pitch, that ends up being outside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-0 count. Or no, that's 25, Tyler Rule. My bad. Rule making his first at-bat tonight. He replaced Cooper Mars. And the 2-0 pitch to Rule, that swung on and missed for strike 1. Right now, Tyler Rule, number 25 from VMI, is currently facing a 2-1 count in his first at-bat. And that ends up being inside, ball 3. So we now have a 3-1 count coming on the way. And the 3-1 pitch to Rule. That swung on and missed for strike 2. And now the payoff pitch. That swung on and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. So the Braves end up scoring 2 runs off of 3 runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Coming up next, the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 8th, where the Turks will have Dalton, Spielman, Miranda due up to bat in the top of the 8th as the Turks are down to their final 6 outs. Again, after this quick break, which 8th inning brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. 7th inning brought to you by City National Bank. After this is the top of the 8th. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves lead 7-2 here in the top of the 8th, which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Due up first for the Turks, going to have Brody Dalton, currently 1-0 for 1. Does have a couple walks, and he watches strike 1. So the 0-1 pitch, Smith still in his. They went strike 2. So we now have an 0-2 pitch on the way. That's outside. Ball 1. Again, Caleb Smith still on the mound for the Braves. Actually, number 42 is batting, Connor Spielman. Spielman again is 0 for 3 tonight, and that will miss ball 2. So after a couple quick strikes, Spielman is now in a 2-2 count. And Smith, 2-2 pitch. That misses ball 3. Just barely missed high, I think. So that gives a payoff pitch now to the Turks catcher. Smith will get set, delivers full count pitch. That is ball 4. So Spielman ends up walking. And that'll bring up Miranda.
Now batting number 13, Trey Miranda.
Miranda walked his last time up, currently 0 for 2. And the first pitch to Miranda, in there for strike 1. So Smith will face Miranda for the first time. He has now, Miranda will face Smith with no outs and runner on over at first. And the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. And that brings us to an 0-2 count. Smith looking for the first out. He wouldn't mind a ground out double play. And Smith delivers the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And that is the first out of the inning. So Miranda ends up going down on strikes, and that'll bring up number 8.
Now batting number 8, Jackson Walker.
Jackson Walker. Walker singled his last time up. Now he'll face Smith. First pitch in there for strike 1. So again, Walker faces Smith with 1 out and a runner on over at first. And Connor Spielman. The 0-1 pitch. That misses inside, ball 1. So we now have a 1-1 count here, 1 out, top of the 8th. Turks down to their final 5 outs. 1-1 pitch on the way, that misses inside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way. 1 out. Spielman on over at first for the Turks. Right now, Turks just need some base runners. Braves just trying to get the final 5 outs. That ends up missing ball 3. So now you have a 3-1 count. Caleb Smith trying to get back into it. Ground ball could get us out of the inning. Smith will get set. And the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be a ground ball. Could we get 2? And throwing over to 1. Second for 1 on to first. Not in time. Did end up getting 1. Or no, they got none, it looks like. So Smith do get the infield base hit there from Jackson Walker. And we are going to get a mound visit. Will that be the end for Caleb Smith? So far, a walk and a base hit is what has happened so far in the 8th. Right now, Braves having a quick word. Probably just going to try to calm them down. So that was a great opportunity just then to get the double play, to get out of the out. As it was hit, Williams tried to get it on over to Lawson. Throw probably took Lawson off the bag. Throw on over to first, didn't end up being in time. So, bring up Mason Greenhouse. Greenhouse currently 0 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch swung on and missed, strike one. Again, Greenhouse now has an 0-1 count coming on the way. Smith trying to get out. Another ground ball. Again, could try to get us out of the inning. Smith will deliver the 0-1 pitch outside ball one. So we now have a 1-1 count coming on the way with one out here. Top of the 8th. Do get a quick time. Maybe getting some more chalk or rucksack for the pitcher, Smith. So this quick little break. Again, so far, we have a walk to Spielman, who's currently on over at second. Trey Miranda ended up striking out. Walker hits a ground ball. Could have potentially been a double play, but flip on over to second. Ended up not being in time or on target. And then the throw on over to first wasn't in time, so both runners ended up being safe. And now we face a 1-1 count here to Mason Greenhouse, who's currently 0 for 3 tonight. And now Smith delivers the 1-1 pitch. And therefore strike two. Now we have a 1-2 count coming on the way with one out here. Again, Turks down to their final 5 outs. 2 more in this inning, 3 in the top of the 9th. The 1-2 pitch misses ball 2. So that gives us a 2-2 count coming on the way with one out here. As Smith will get set. And now the 2-2 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Now we have a full count pitch coming on the way. Right now, Smith facing a full count pitch. Currently has runner on over in second in Spielman. Runner over at first in Walker. And Smith. Payoff pitch on the way. That will be strike 3 called, and that is out number 2. So with that, that gives the Braves down to the Turks down to their final 4 outs, and it looks like that will be the end for Caleb Smith's night. Coming up after this quick break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for your Staunton Braves. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves lead 7-2 here in the top of the 8th here with 2 outs. New pitcher for the Braves, right-handed out of St. John's, Nick Romer. Romer currently is making his 6th appearance, having gone 6.1 innings, and has a 4.26 ERA. And the first pitch he throws is a strike one. Romer inherits 2 runners on base. Currently, catcher Spielman on over at second, Walker at first. And the 0-1 pitch, that's going to be a ground ball fielded by Hastler. Runs on over to first, and will take it to the bag himself for out number 3, and the inning is over. So the Turks score no runs off 1 hit, no errors, and 2 were left on base. Coming up next, the bottom of the 8th, where the Braves look to extend their lead to make this even tougher for the Turks. 8th inning is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Again, bottom of the 8th, the Braves will have Softji, Ogle, and Williams up to bat after this. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, the Braves lead 7-2 here in the bottom of the 8th, which is brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. New pitcher on the mound for the Turks from Southeastern University, number 23, Dominic Caparella. Caparella currently has pitched in 10.2 innings, making his 8th appearance, and has a 12.66 ERA. And the first pitcher or batter he will face will be none other than Cole Softji. And first pitch will miss, ball 1 to Softji. Catcher for the Braves, currently 0 for 3 tonight. Has a couple strikeouts. Trying to avoid the hat trick and strikeouts. The 0-1 pitch is inside for strike 1. So we now have a 1-1 count coming on the way with no outs here. Bottom of the 8th. Caparella delivers 1-1 pitch. That's swung on well early for strike 2. You got Softji with the off-speed pitch. And now the catcher faces a 1-2 count. And Caparella delivers. 1-2 pitch on the way, outside, ball 2. So that gives us a 2-2 count. Again, Softji 0 for 3 tonight. Due up next will be Ogle. And the 2-2 pitch misses ball 3. So that gives us a full count pitch to the catcher for the Braves. Caparella will deliver. Payoff pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. And that is out number 1 as Soft G is rung up for the 3rd time tonight. That'll bring up number 14, Easton Ogle, making his first appearance tonight. Replaced Jake Merrick on over at 3rd. And now we have 1 out here. And the first pitch ends up missing ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes coming on the way. Currently the Braves do have a 5-run lead, trying to extend their lead, make it even tougher in the top of the 9th. And the 1-0 pitch, that will miss. And after appeal, no swing was made. So that gives us a 2-0 count to Ogle. The new third baseman replaced Merrick after Merrick had a 1-for-3 afternoon. That pitch misses ball 3. So we now have a 3-0 count coming on the way with 1 out here. And the top of the 8th, or bottom of the 8th. Caparella trying to avoid the 4-pitch walk. That's in there for strike 1. So after 3 straight balls, Ogle watches strike 1 come. And now we have a 1-out situation. And the 3-1 pitch, that's hit high, going foul. And that will give us the full count pitch for the 2nd straight batter. Again, Soft G ended up getting into a full count pitch, swung out or struck out swinging. Now Ogle in a full count pitch. And the payoff pitch on the way inside, ball 4. And Ogle will reach for his first time. And that will bring up second baseman Caleb Williams, number 10.
Caleb
Williams crushed one to straightaway center field last time up. He is currently 2 for 3 tonight. And first pitch to Williams misses ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 pitch coming on the way. Again, runner on over at first in Easton Ogle. And the 1-0 pitch coming to Williams. That misses ball 2. Looks like they're mainly trying to make sure Ogle doesn't run, at least on that pitch. Now we get set. Caparella. 2-0 pitch on the way. That misses ball 3. So 3 straight balls to Ogle, or not Ogle, Williams. Again, Williams 2 for 3 tonight, has a single and a homer tonight. And now Caparella delivers 3-0 pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Williams tried to sell ball 4. Home plate umpire said it was in there. So it'll give us a 3-1 count. And now Caparella delivers 3-1 pitch. That'll be hit straight back. And that'll give us a full count pitch. So first full count pitch we had was with Soft G, ended up striking out. Ogle ended up getting the walk. Will Caparella go 2 for 3 in payoff pitches? That misses ball 4, so Ogle will easily take second, and we will now have Caleb Williams on over at first. So with that walk, that turns the lineup over, and that'll bring up Jose Vasquez. Vasquez currently 1 for 3, doubled his last time up. And we are getting a mound visit and a pitching change here, as currently the Turks are trying to keep this just a 5-run game with runners at first and second. After this break, I'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Turks. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. The new pitcher on the mound for the Turks out of Bethesda, Maryland, currently uncommitted. We have Brian DeCoris. DeCoris making his 4th appearance with a pitched in 2.1 innings and has an 11.57 ERA, and will throw a first pitch ball. So we have a 1-0 count coming on the way. Again, Jose Vasquez is currently on the play, and that pitch will get hit foul for strike 1. So that gives us a 1-1 count coming on the way. 1 out here. At the end of the day, Caparella only ended up going 1/3 of an inning. Now they're going to look at the young pitcher to try to get out the final 2 outs. That will get hit foul to give us a 1-2 count. Again, we now have a 1-ball, 2-strike count coming to Vasquez. Vasquez currently 1 for 3, does have a double, but walked his last time up. Now, the pitch that is hit right back up the middle, grounded and fumbled, and everyone will be safe. So an error on the shortstop, Perez, with that. Looked like he may have tried to flip it on over to Miranda at second for the first out before he actually gathered it. And that'll bring up number 35, Max Lawson, with bases loaded and 1 out here. And the first pitch to Lawson, inside, ball 1. Again, DeCoris right-handed pitcher out of Bethesda, Maryland. He is also uncommitted still. And the 1-0 pitch on the way in there for strike one. So that gives us a 1-1 count coming on the way with one out. Again, an error previously on the shortstop that allowed Vasquez to reach first. And the 1-1 pitch to Lawson. That is sent right back up the middle into center field. Base hit. One run comes across. And Williams will round third and head home. And that is now another 2 runs. And the Braves extend their lead. So it is now 9-2 in favor of the Braves after that 2 RBI base hit from Lawson. And that'll bring up Brody Melton. Unless we have a pitch hitter. Doesn't look like it, so Melton will be up to bat 0 for 4 tonight.
Brody Melton.
And right now he has no out, or 1 out here. Runners over at first and second, and Vasquez and Lawson with 1 out. And the pitch inside, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way. Again, anyone keeping score at home, everything is unearned from now on in this inning because of that error from Perez. And the 1-0 pitch, that is check swinged into right field, base hit. Vasquez rounds third, heading on home. Lawson heads on over to third, and another run scores. And it is now runners at the corner with 1 out here. And it is 10-2 in favor of the Braves. So a check swing base hit from Melton. That'll bring up number 33, Keegan Hasler. Hasler currently on a 3 at-bat hit streak, trying to make it 4 in a row. He's currently 3 for 4 tonight. Again, he's 3 for 4 tonight, 3 consecutive base hits. And the first pitch to Hasler, that's outside, ball 1. Right now, Max Lawson on over at third, Brody Melton on over at first. Hasler trying to make it 4 straight base hits, and he'll swing and miss for strike 1. So now we have a 1-1 count coming on the way to the Braves' first baseman. As the Braves currently trying to extend their lead. And that misses inside, ball 2. So we now have a 2-1 count coming on the way with 1 out. Again, Max Lawson on over at third, Brody Melton at first. And the 2-1 pitch on the way. That swung on. Fly ball heading into straightaway right, shallow right field. And catch is made. They will throw it on over to home, so no one will advance. And that gives us 2 outs. Runners still at the corner. So Hasler's hit streak ends up coming to an end with that fly out. That'll bring up designated hitter number 45, Braden Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky currently 1 for 4. Grounded out his last time up. And now Braves currently up by 8. Currently just needing 1 more out. And Turks get a first pitch strike to Tchaikovsky. Again, right now, young number 35, Brian DeCoris, right-handed pitcher, trying to get out number 3 here in the 8th. Keep this game alive and potentially manageable. The 0-1 pitch, that's crushed. A hard hit ball heading into the gap in right field. And Brody Melton heads on over to third. Tchaikovsky will stay on over. And now we have runners at second and third with 2 outs here. After that hit from Tchaikovsky, that'll bring up Tyler Rule. Struck out his last time up. Again, right now, Brody Melton is on over at third. Braden Tchaikovsky is at second. First pitch to Rule, outside, ball 1. So it's a 1 ball, no strikes coming with 2 outs here. Again, Tyler Rule 0 for 1, struck out his last time up. The 1-0 pitch to Rule. That's hit going into straightaway center field, and it lands. Or did he catch it? Caught it. Great play there from Greenhouse in center field. Diving catch. Thought he might have missed it, but it ends up getting caught. So now Braves hold a 9-run lead after 8 innings, and the Turks are down to their final 3 outs. 8th inning brought to you by Brain Injury Prevention. Coming up, the Turks with their final 3 outs, and scheduled to bat, we have Garcia, Gary Perez, if I'm not mistaken, due up in the top of the 9th as the Turks try to claw back into it, and they're going to need a major inning here with the final 3 outs. Due up next. And welcome back to Staunton, Virginia. Currently, Braves do lead 11-2 here in the top of the 9th. Turks down to their final 3 outs. Nick Romer coming in, trying to get the final 3 outs. First batter he will face be Philip Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. First pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Again, 0-1 count coming on the way. No, Bennett Gary actually is first up to bat, not Garcia. As Gary watches ball 1. So it's 1-1 count. Gary does have a triple and was hit by pitch last time up. That's in there for strike 2. So we now have a 1-2 count coming on the way to the leadoff hitter. Gary is currently 1 for 2 tonight. And the 1-2 pitch, that's hit right back up the middle. Fielded by Lawson. Throws on over to first. In time for out number 1. So Gary ends up grounding out, and that'll bring up Andy Perez, unless we have a pitch hitter. It is going to be 33, Andy Perez, shortstop. Perez hit his last time up. Currently 1 for 1 technically because he has 2 walks and also a fielder's choice. So that will be grounded. And a little bit of miscommunication there. In time, though, for out 2. So Perez ends up grounding out. Again, a 6-3. Lawson ended up fielding it. That'll bring up first baseman, number 50, Elijah Gillians. Gillians currently 1 for 4 tonight. First pitch will miss, ball 1. So we now have a 1-0 count coming on the way to the first baseman and the final out potentially for the Turks. And currently it is a 9-run game. Right now, Turks just needing hitters. Braves trying to get the final out. And the pitch, that's going to be a grounder. Lawson will field it and a flip on over to first in time for out number 3. And the game is over. So the Braves end up winning this 11-2 after a major 8th or 7th inning. They started out a little slow, but in the end they ended up winning it here 11-2. Had some great bats after they managed to get past the starting pitcher, Douglas King. But that will be the end of the game. Braves get into the win column here at home. They move to 18-10 on the season. This game was brought to you by City National Bank, Brain Injury Prevention, and Premier Lawn Care. Coming up next, the Braves will be at home on July 10th when they play Waynesboro. Again, that'll be the next time you hear me here in the booth as the Braves are home, as they will be away tomorrow. So, coming up next, I will see you on the 10th when the Braves host Waynesboro. Till then, good night and go Braves.